Help out the poor soul.
A newcomer in the warehouse district. Unusual, but how can I help you today, my friend? The Divine? Who told you that? If a justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing... No, no. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it. I made my thoughts known. I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing. Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help. Somerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
This is unheard of! Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
But the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The kin lady and I, we have only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The old Dark's right! Lock up the newcomers!
Send the newcomers back where they came from. We don't want them here.
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Sequestered, just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Ol Newell's assistant has lived on Somerset since long before the Queen ever issued her... Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the kin lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery. Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quietly inside.
Lady Estrie was our true queen. Damn you for killing her.
Eyes polished amber, hair swept like a comet's tail, soul alight with love and joy under pregnant golden sails. My star-eyed bride of Valinor, lost in storm and spray. My star-eyed bride of Valinor, cruel fate took away.
Mara, help me. Mara, help me find my son. An adventurer? Oh, praise you, Mara, for hearing my prayers. Please, newcomer, I'm desperate for help. My son, Arathel, has gone missing. No one will tell me what happened to him. Yes, I'm sorry. The last time I saw him, he was agitated, scared. I asked him what was wrong, but he left without a word. The guards arrived later. They said he turned himself in, that he was involved in a plot to kill our sapiarch, Icantar. No, he vanished. They say he escaped. Can you believe it? Why would he turn himself in only to escape a few hours later? They're hiding something, I know it. Please, Caraval, help me find my boy. He would never hurt anyone. I swear it. You have a perfect heart, newcomer. None of my neighbors would lift a finger to help me. The guards placed Arathel in a cell beneath the Kin Lady's manor. I'm told the Justiciar of Remand is there now, a mer named Telerion. He must know something. No, Icantar treats us like family. Arathel is Icantar's apprentice, you see? He was so proud when the attestation came through. He's been a bit withdrawn, though. I found some Aprax literature in his room. But it's just a phase, right? Right. You're new to the Isle. I apologize. Apraxic Mer, a people who, for whatever reason, were expelled from the greater elven community. Most Aprax labor for years to re-enter society. Others choose to remain in exile. I feel very sorry for them. Some do, yes. Treatises on class warfare, religious hypocrisy, that sort of thing. A lot of young Mer take a liking to it. I think it's healthy to push back a bit. Not too much, of course, but a bit. Rumor has it that a famous Aprax called the Mother of Rats lives in the city, but I've never met her. And even if I did, we're forbidden from speaking with her. Oh, that sounds awful, doesn't it? It's just the way things are here, I'm afraid.
You there! I have a... Damn it!
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
This manor is closed by order of the Divine Prosecution, so I'll keep this brief. Who are you, and what do you want? Aye, Sir Abane's ring. Will I never be rid of that hen? Look, turning away grieving mothers brings me no satisfaction, but this situation is not here, clearly. You really do mean to track him down, don't you? Fine. Our draftsman drew up a few copies for distribution to the bailiffs. They're stacked upstairs near the hearth. You can take one if you wish, with this condition. If you find something, you will bring it to my attention, immediately. So you would ask my name without offering your own? No, don't bother. I've grown to expect these clumsy troglodytic introductions. I am Talarian, Justiciar of Romand. I oversee all matters related to bonds and incarceration here in Shimmerine. Spilling wine on your vest at a dinner party is embarrassing. This is... Frankly, there isn't a word in the common tongue for this. It is raxiferas. Disgraceful on a scale you outsiders can't even imagine. That's a matter for the High Justiciar and the Sapiarchs. My only concern is returning him to custody. And time is of the essence, so please, be on your way. It seems he escaped into the vaulted Halsoriel. The sewer. Gods, what a hideous word. Anyway, he had help. That gaping hole in the wall is obviously quite new. Might have been a conventional explosion or some kind of arcane rupture. We won't know until the Revelators examine the scene.
this work will be worth it someday. I hope.
This is for the greater good. Just keep saying that.
Maybe now we'll get something done.
Thought we was after the Sapient. Not sure I signed up for this. Not too sure about that Miralon guy yet.
Smells worse than the Riften Tavern in here. Glad we finally got organized. Maybe now we'll get something done.
Feels worse than the Riften Tavern in here.
Greater good. Just keep saying that. One day we'll stick to the Sapiarch.
Seems like such a nice city above. Just not down here.
Potions really stink. Wonder what's in them.
This work will be worth it someday. Glad we finally got organized. Maybe now we'll get something done. Sapiarch will loosen his grip on us. We will make him. Seems like such a nice city
There's a tavern in here.
Thought we was after the Sapir. Not sure I signed up for this.
This work will be worth it someday.
This is for the greater good. Just keep saying that.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... You say I won some gold?
Don't you remember? Raz always pays his debts, and he always buys the drinks.
Gold and...
You have no right to be in here.
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way. Aldork Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by King Lady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not unusual for monks to form attachments and move together, but there's something strange about that bunch. The Aldork and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own purposes and ordered the rest of us to avoid the ancient vaults beneath the monastery. Now, please, let me get back to my nap. Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why do you care about the complexities of Altma bureaucracy? The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldork has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks...
box office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldarch and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What? A curious pearl. On with the newcomers.
What is it?
This isn't the town square. Move along!
Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there.
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, it's a nightmare. We came to Somerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages. The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of it.
Is that a scoffin?
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra? Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my... An excellent question. And one I hope to find the answer to.
From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the Scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
Newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear, your turn will come.
Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers, and I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. The Psijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that an Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to our
You're not fit to lick my boot!
Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later. We were warned that Daedric princes had their eyes on Somerset, but I didn't expect that level of danger from what was supposed to be a simple investigation. We received word that there was the potential for trouble in Somerset, so the Right Master sent me to take a look. Even so, Artaeum isn't a prison. We're Psijic mages. I did tell you, once I ascertained I could trust you and the time was right. When we make a rare visit back to Nirn, we try to keep a low that would be one of the Right Master's many contacts. A partial truth. Easier to remember than an outright lie. Another member of our order came to Somerset a few months back. We haven't heard from him, so I decided to look into both matters while I was here. No, not intentionally. We may be sages, but we're still just people. We can become restless, succumb to sorrow or frustration. We were warned that...
Though I'm pleased with Queen Irene's decree, it has rather dominated...